Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the series where I am trading. I still haven't come up with a name for this series, but I did see in the comments of the first episode, somebody said I should call it Rookie Trades, which is fair enough. I am a trading rookie. So I guess we can go with that for now. Shout out to you. I'll leave your comment right there so that I can give you a quick little shout out for coming up with the name for this series. So welcome back to Rookie Trades. This is going to be episode 2 of the series, and just in case you're unfamiliar, hi, my name is James, and I do not know too much about trading. I know a little bit here from working at A1 Trading for the past year and some change, but I am on a journey to see if trading is for me. I have started a demo account, and I have taken some trades. I've had some success with it. I've had some not so much success with it, but here in this series, we're just going to be taking a look at our trading software, the EDGEFINDER, see if we can find some entries, and then I'm going to work through my thought process that comes with taking these trades, as well as taking a look at some of Nick and Frank, their trades, people who actually know what they're doing in the markets and are very good at it, I should also say. But yeah, without let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So I actually have a trade open right here. This is one that I took a couple days ago. I can see this is my entry right here. So Monday, I say a couple days. I took this yesterday. I took this trade yesterday. And this one just looked really, really sound to me. So NZD USD, in fact, if we take a look at the EDGEFINDER, I believe this has a strong, yes, so NZD USD has a very bearish bias currently on the EDGEFINDER, which is what initially put it on my radar, right? And if we zoom out, 15 minutes is a little bit too low of a time frame. If we get on a higher time frame, nope, not the 1 hour, I meant to do the 1 day. If we look at the 1 day, this thing has been, if you were to draw a trend line, from here to here, that's just slowly but surely down, 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 down. And if we actually zoom this in just a little bit here, as of more recently, same thing. Oh, where's my trend line? Same thing. This is very clear to see. Really, really strong downward trend there. So I hopped in. Not sure what that was. That was something else. But here, if I break it back down on, let's look at the 1 hour chart maybe. I believe I did take this on the 15-minute chart when I was initially looking at it. But you can see, we just have a really nice downward structure. We have this high here that we haven't come back up to retest yet. Prices continue to move lower and lower. If I go to the 15-minute chart, it's even more clear to see. This is what I was looking at. I saw price came all the way up to here, and we kind of bounced around this zone just a little bit. Frank, by the way, shout out to Frank. Last episode, if you watched the whole thing, you might have remembered I was having a real hard time trying to find my beautiful little rectangle tool here, and thankfully Frank has helped me with my problem here. So if I put that there, you can see that price came up to this zone here, came back down, kind of tried out this zone again, and then decided that's not for me, I'm going back down. Did you know our market scanning software, the EDGEFINDER, just got even better? Check out our newest asset, Bitcoin. That's right, Bitcoin was our most requested feature update, and we're so excited to announce Bitcoin is finally here with plans to add even more crypto in the future. We've also updated our most popular feature, the Smart Money Tracker, adding even more data than before. The EDGEFINDER not only automatically scores 8 different metrics for each asset to give it an overall buy, sell, or neutral score, but it also keeps track of bank and analyst positioning, stores historical fundamental data, shows how assets are trending throughout the day, and so much more. Right now, our YouTube viewers can get the EDGEFINDER at a discounted price when they use promo code A1YT. You can check out the EDGEFINDER with the link down in the description below, and again, get it for the special discounted price when you use promo code A1YT at checkout. So I caught it, oops, get out of my way, TradingView. I caught it right here, expecting it to, maybe pop back up and retest, but continue to trend downwards. And that's exactly what has happened. Price went way lower. It came back up, back down, back up, and then way lower, back up a little bit, way lower. And currently we're sitting right around here where hopefully price will continue to keep going down. I have my stop loss way up here, kind of aligned with these highs up here, but I think I'm actually I feel pretty confident in this structure. So I'm actually going to move my stop loss right to the very top of those closes right there, modify. So at the top of where those candles closed right there, kind of the top of these wicks too, is my new stop loss range. I do expect this to continue to keep going lower and lower. I mean, obviously I hope I do because I am shorting it at the moment. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that trade so far. Again, that's one of my more successful trades. Not all of my trades are winners, obviously, just like any other trader. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop back into the EDGEFINDER. Okay, so it's the very next day, and I'm going to update you guys on some of the trades that I was talking about in this video. So as we go along, I'm going to talk about the trade, and then I'll come back with the update later on. So the first trade that we talked about was NZD USD, which was the trade that I was already in. And as you can see here, this was my entry point, and this ended up being my exit point. Now, I did technically finish that with a profit of $3.99, but not exactly what I was hoping for. I was selling, I was going short, and price came all the way down here. And I think it was when price was around this level, like really around this candle, is when I decided that I really liked the structure. I thought that it was going to continue to go lower, so I moved my stop here just to kind of lock in a little bit of profit, fully expecting it to continue to drop, and that is absolutely not what happened, because price started to go back up from there and hit my stop right here just before dropping off even further. Now, granted, after those lows right here, price has come like all the way back up. So overall, I missed out on a little bit of profit, probably, I don't know, 20 bucks or so, something like that. So nothing too crazy. I'm glad that I was able to trail into profit. As far as trading goes, it was a successful trade, but I need to leave more room for my stop loss. I need to leave a little bit more room for these trades to run. That was something that I talked about in the previous episode. If you haven't seen that, was stop losses and letting these trades run a little bit more. I definitely struggle with that a little bit. So that was trade number one. I was taking a look at this before I started recording this, just because I wanted to kind of get an idea of what I wanted to take a look at going into today. And I came up with 3 currency pairs, just kind of for no particular reason, that I wanted to take a look at. The first being USD CAD, because as far as any of our currency pairs go, it is the most bullish other than US oil, but I don't know if I'm too qualified to check out oil yet. That's going to have to be, I need to level up a few more times before I get to oil. USD CAD, however, I think is a good pair to check out. I was also looking at Euro NZD or CHF JPY, one of those two, because it's got a small bullish signal with just a score of a +4. But in fact, if we check out the historical backtest on both of those, historical backtest is a really cool feature in the EDGEFINDER that I don't think gets talked about enough, because it can really help you. This, more than anything, I think will help you kind of find that breakout that you're looking for. When you start to see those numbers slowly start to rise before it gets up to that very bullish range, when it's kind of starting to move up like that, that's when you really want to be checking out the historical backtest. So we said CHF, JPY, and Euro NZD, I think, were the 2 pairs that we said that we would take a look at here. So let's see. Well, I see Euro NZD right here. So there we go. So Euro NZD has been sitting at a +4 for a couple of days at this point. It was at a +3, dropped down a little bit, and now it's up to a +4. So it has been sitting at +4 for a couple of days. Could it break out even higher? Potentially. But let's see. CHF JPY was the other one we said that we would take a look at, I think. And here we go. This is interesting too, because we were at a +1 for a long time. Moved up to a +3. And then a 5, 4, 5, and now we're kind of hovering around this range. So let's check out CHF JPY really quickly, see if we have any. Oh, and what was the other one? CAD USD. I said that we would take a look at that one as well. All right, so here's CHF JPY on the 15-minute chart. Let's break it down on the daily and see if we have, okay. So on the daily, we did have a really, really, really strong upward trend for a while. But as of late, we definitely are in a bit of a consolidation range here. Price is not making any strong moves in any direction that it looks like. So let's break it down on a slightly smaller time frame. Take a look at the 4-hour. I can see, okay, now this is interesting. Because what I see here is price making new lows. So we tested that there, same range right there. But then what happened is price came down, came back up, and formed a new higher low. Same thing you could say right there, and right there, and now here as well. So this to me does not look like price is going to be going up, which kind of makes sense when you take a look at the historical backtest. Price has been jumping back and forth between 5 and 4, meaning that some days it's looking like a buy, right? But then other days it's looking a little bit weaker. So that kind of bounce between those range actually makes sense. That's not to say that this won't continue to trend higher, because it certainly has been going higher and higher for a very long time. But as of right now, I'm just not too sure, because yes, price could, decide that it wants to break out of this range right here and start moving higher. But in the short term, it definitely looks like it's starting to move a little bit lower, although we haven't really broken out of this range here, or this right here is likely going to be a strong level of resistance, I think. We tested it here and we went back up, but if we get down into this range and then break through that, I think that could prove to be a strong move to the downside. But if we keep bouncing around this range and moving back up, if we keep testing here, this support here and going back up, potentially moves to the long side. But that's just, again, my rookie trades opinion. What else did we say we're going to look at? USD CAD. Let's break down USD CAD really quick. And I should say that I am looking, not necessarily looking to get into a trade, but if I do see something, because again, I am just on a demo account. This is not my own money. I am just practicing. So if I see something that looks kind of interesting, which I kind of think that I do see something a little interesting here, I won't hesitate, and I can go ahead and take a trade on it and update you guys about that. So here, this is kind of similar to what we were just looking at with CHF JPY. We had this long period of consolidation here where we were starting to make higher lows. I can see price came down, back up, but not as high as before, came down and back up, not as high as before, broke through that, but then same thing here. Came down and, it moved lower and lower, but now we're breaking back up, which again, I think CHF JPY has that same potential if it keeps hitting that level of support there and keeps bouncing off of it. Now here on the daily chart for USD CAD, I see a clear upward trend, although it has come back down, which is not too dissimilar as to what just happened here. Came down before coming back up. It's coming back down again, and I expect, or hope at least, for price to come back up. So we can see the same thing here. Price moves lower, tests this range, comes back up. Price moves lower, now it's testing this range, And hopefully, as long as it doesn't break through this range and keep moving lower, it'll kind of bounce off this this support area and keep moving higher. So I'm actually going to go to the 15-minute chart and look for a good limit order, I think, is the play on this one. So yeah, so if I draw let's see. I might just do it at the bottom of these. I might just wait for price to come down just a little bit more and then see if we go back up. So I'm actually going to set a limit order right here at 35,472 on the long side. So create a limit order by 35,4771. That's fine. Now the question is, I always kind of judge my risk off of my stop losses. So if I'm going long here, I suppose I would put my stops maybe not all the way down. Well, actually, let's go back to the 1 hour chart and decide. Okay, so yeah, I like the look of this a little bit more. So I would probably put my stops probably in this range, not all the way down here. I would probably put them around these candles here, this range here. I would say about 35,277. So let's see how much that is. 35,277. 35,277. And currently that only risks $11. I'm okay with upping that just a little bit. Let's try 10,000 units for $15. Let's try 12, 17. Let's go $20. There we go. $20. So $20 risk here on the stop. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm actually looking at it, that's not quite as much room to breathe as I thought it was. I maybe should have taken a little bit of a closer look at where my entry position was, because that is not a whole lot of room to breathe. Which is okay. Again, this is just a demo account, so I'm just going to go ahead and move my stop down to here. Yes, I am risking a lot more money. I am risking a lot more money than I originally said I was going to. But just for the sake of, keeping this thing moving, if I need to go back and redo this trade, I will. But again, it's a demo account, so yes, it will hurt my demo account if this trade doesn't go in my favor, but it's okay. USD CAD was the second trade I wanted to talk about, and this one did not go in my favor at all. Well, actually, so this one was really weird. So I took this trade yesterday, which was Tuesday, September 12th, and I bought USD CAD right here. And as you can see, after a little while, it started working in my favor. We had a new high there, a new high there, a new high there, and then this is when the weird stuff started happening. So CPI happened this morning, and maybe I should have closed out of my trade ahead of CPI, because I definitely would have closed out in profit. This candle this candle right here, this green candle, the one right before I got stopped out for a loss, by the way, was in profit for myself, because I entered right here, and you can see this candle is just a little bit above, not too crazy. Up here would have been nice, but I was right here, I think in like $15 of profit, and I was happy with it. That was the 8:30 candle, and yes, we definitely had some volatility during CPI, but it was after CPI, it was well after CPI actually, that this candle just absolutely took me out, and it was like an aftershock. That was Chandler, the other video editor here, is he's the one that described it as like an aftershock, and I thought that was a good way to describe it. I thought, okay, I kind of forgot about my trade in CPI, but looks like we survived it, we're good. And then 10 minutes after the release is when it really just tanked super hard. So nothing I can do about that one. That was a loss. All right, so there we go. I said I was going to take a look at one more pair, and we've taken a look at a USD cross already, so I'm going to kind of skip over these four right here in the very bearish category, which leads NZD CHF and NZD JPY. NZD CHF has a slightly stronger score. NZD JPY, maybe is going to have a higher score soon, which means that I could get into a better breakout. I don't know. Let's just check out NZD JPY. NZD JPY. Okay, so let's look at it on the daily chart first. And okay. So not a super strong downward trend, but a downward trend nonetheless. We can see that we kind of peaked out here, right? And slowly but surely have been making our way down ever since. If we break it down on the 4 hour, man, this thing looks super choppy. Super choppy, but still that same kind of higher low concept comes into play. We can see here, get my brush back out, higher low, higher low, higher low. So is that going to be the play somewhere around, around here? It's going to kind of do and then back down. Potentially, we can check out NZD CHF and see if we have a little bit of a cleaner chart here. We kind of do. That would explain the stronger score, I suppose. Oops, did not mean to draw on that. Delete. Okay. So yeah, here on the daily chart, ooh, man. Wow. This thing has been plummeting on the daily chart. But as of late, has not been dropping quite as hard. Okay. Let's take a look at it on the 4 hour. Pretty choppy. In fact, prices actually moved up just a little bit since these absolute bottom lows here. And on the 1 hour, actually seeing a little bit of a reversal potentially. I mean, higher highs here. New higher high, new higher high, new higher high, new higher high, but then a strong move to the downside here. These were coming pretty quick. Higher high, boom, 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 boom. But then we didn't have another boom around here. In fact, we've continued to move lower. So I'm not too sure about this chart either, but I'm not going to take up too much more time taking a look at charts. Showed off a trade I was in, broke down a couple different charts, set a limit order so I can update you guys about that if something does come of it. But now what I'm going to do really quickly is check out one of Nick or Frank's. I checked out Nick's trade last episode. So let's check out one of Frank's trades. So here we go. Frank yesterday actually took a sell trade on gold. So for all you gold traders out there, here's a little bit of gold analysis. And we can actually kind of watch this trade unfold because he took it yesterday morning, and just about an hour ago, he actually trailed out for profit. So let's take a look at what he did with his gold trade. So he entered gold at 1924.48. 1924, about right here. So he entered about here and sold, which was a very nice move by him. He had his stop at 1939.25. So at the top, roughly here. Sorry, I know that my drawing is like atrociously awful, but he entered here. He had his stops here. Was hoping price would drop. Clearly it did. And we can follow his updates here as well. So after gold began to drop off, he trailed at just about break even. Right here you can see he put a stop right at about break even, or 45 pips below entry actually. Price continued to just absolutely plummet. I mean, my goodness, he trailed 942 pips below entry at 1915, so he ended up putting his next stop probably around this area right here after buying here, and then eventually I assume on this candle right here, oh man, it looks like this candle right here just barely probably touched his stop loss and trailed him out, and then it's starting to go back down. So the last thing I wanted to update you guys about was Frank's gold trade, because I said in the video it looks like he just barely got stopped out on his gold trade. And so I talked to Frank, and that's exactly what he said happened. He said that he just barely hit his stop for profit, I should say, before price just continued to absolutely go back down. So Frank had a good trade on gold, but yeah, just barely tagged that stop, which I know that he was a little upset about, but still overall good trade for him. Good move by Frank. Very nice sell right here. So this is the structure that he was looking at going into this trade. Price had been moving down pretty strong for a while. It had kind of come back up, but was testing these this range right here. Price kept coming up into this range, but couldn't break out of it. In fact, it started to break lower. So in this kind of period of consolidation here, he decided that he was going to go ahead and short it, hoping that the market would move lower. And not only did it do that, but it actually broke through these lows here and has potential to keep going even lower, I think. So really good move by Frank, really good trade. And that's going to do it for episode 2 of Rookie Trades. Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want our broker recommendation, access to our free Discord, free EDGEFINDER, or want to chat with us on Telegram. Remember, you can watch us live in the markets every morning starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have lots more free trading tools and content available on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching.